It's over for Ron. Trump cheers. New poll showing Vivek Ramaswamy overtaking DeSantis for the number 2 spot in the 2024 GOP primary, still miles behind him. But many people are suggesting that the Trump campaign is propping up these polls, propping up Vivek Ramaswamy, because Vivek is no real threat to Trump and actually is nice to Trump, supports Trump in many ways, and may actually be, just effectively on Trump's side, whereas DeSantis is real competition for him. I think this might be the second or third poll showing that Vivek has taken second place. So if Trump is out of the picture, Vivek may come in first. I don't know for sure. In the prediction markets, we have Ron still in second place, but it looks like Vivek and Ron are tied. And the only reason Ron DeSantis is above him is because D comes before R alphabetically. As what people have argued, I don't know if that's true. I think we can jump down here and just see that DeSantis. So right now they're saying that it's actually 17-16. So DeSantis is in second place. But I'm curious what you guys think about this battle and where Vivek Ramaswamy ends up. Because I think I watched this really great clip I mentioned earlier between him and Neil Cavuto. Man, this dude is as sharp can be. He's sharp as a box of knives. This Vivek Ramaswamy. He knows what to say, how to say it. And I don't think a guy like Vivek is purely genuine. It would be absurd to believe that this guy is a saint who just believes the right things and whispers all the sweet nothings into your ears.
He's a snake. I said it before, and I love snakes. I love snakes.
I don't think he's a snake.
Snakes are dangerous. They hide in the grass, and if you don't see him there, you're going to pay. He's the kind of guy that will go in there and change things for the better unexpectedly. I trust him. I don't know him that well, but I'm agreeing with what you're saying. I don't think he's saying everything all true. George Washington was a spy. He was a master liar. Yeah, that's my metaphor.
That's at the other extreme.
Yeah, he's the dude. No step on snake, bro. Do not mess with this. This is what I'm talking about. He's that kind of guy.
I think Vivek has overwhelmingly positive positions that he's correct on, and there's a few things that he saw he was polling bad on and probably switched the narrative.
Yeah,
that's normal politics for anybody. I think overwhelmingly, based on my conversations with him, he's legit genuine. He really does dislike the ESG stuff. He really thinks it's a threat to this country, and he wants to win to push back on it. But here's what ends up happening. You're someone like Vivek. What's your specialty? He did biotech. He did anti-ESG financing. Those are his areas of expertise. When it comes to issues of like government lockdowns and war and foreign policy, not his areas of expertise. So he gets into this, and then he's like, I got to figure out what's the appropriate path to take when it comes to foreign policy, because that's not my thing. And then he comes out with an opinion that is incorrect, and he gets heavily criticized for it. Then 6-7 months later, we hear him again, and he comes out with the correct opinion. That doesn't mean he's a snake. It means that he was like, I didn't know enough about it. I ended up learning about it, and here's where I actually stand now.
I think when I say snake, in the sense that he's going to go in there and twist the pharmaceutical industry on its head, and no one has any idea it's coming. Yeah, he's not going to even intimate his intention.
I think snake is kind of implying he's evil.
Duplicitous.
Oh, I disagree. I love snakes. I used to play with snakes when I was little. Snake pooped on me once. A garter snake.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Kind of like a bird poop.
Awesome.
Just right out the skin.
There's a difference between snake poop and bird poop, right? Bird poop is lucky because they're flying around. Snake poop is just kind of on you.
Yeah, it was just on me. I'm a big fan of snakes. Snakes have no hate, man. They really only will attack if they're frightened or attacked. They don't really.
If Trump is the lion, and they call the MAGA party, the MAGA symbol is the lion, what's Ron and what's Vivek?
Ron's the rhino. Vivek is
that was a low blow.
Vivek the snake. Vivek the snake Rama.
Oh, that's mean.
No,
those are both mean.
It's a dangerously powerful creature, the snake.
Ron the rhino and Vivek the snake. Yeah, jeez, Trump supporter MAGA 2024 Ian over here.
No, I think I've called Vivek. I said that I likened him to a snake probably like 3 months ago, because what I see in him is that he's not playing his hand. You don't know what he's got, and he's not a billionaire. Have a brilliant strategist. The guy is worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Wow. Donald Trump is going to come out in the primaries and be like, Rhino Ron and Vivek the snake.
And they'll be
no good.
Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump all the way. That's if they want to hit Donald, it's Donald Trump.
Could you imagine if Trump starts using Ian's nicknames?
So Vivek the Snake Robert, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Rhino Ron. Yeah. Rhino Ron is better than Ron D. Sanctimonious.
Yeah, Rhino Ron.
Wow.
Use my powers for good.
And Ramaswamy. I forgot who said that. Was that Alex Brusowitz who said that? I don't think so.
No, I don't remember.
The Trump people tend to like. Here's what I think. The Trump supporters like Ramaswamy for one simple reason. He defends Trump on principle and correctly.
Well, he defends principle.
Fine.
Yeah, he defends principle. And Donald Trump's part of that principle. It's not like it could be anybody, plug anybody into it. He'd still defend the process.
But so I know all the DeSantis people are going to be like, DeSantis said that these things were wrong too. When Donald Trump was being indicted over, he got indicted over the Stormy Daniels thing?
Right.
Is that was the first one?
The first one, yeah.
Ron said, look, I don't know what goes into paying a porn star hundreds of thousands of dollars. People were like, low blow. Like, it didn't, it's not the same. Like, Vivek's approach is, what they're doing to Trump is wrong. It is unjust, and we must oppose it. Ron's position was more tepid.
Even the Fulton County indictment, he just, gave a blanket, I'll end the weaponization of government statement. He always says I haven't read the indictment, which is odd to me, and never mentions Trump by name. So yeah, I think Trump supporters appreciate Ramaswamy going to the mat for him and being true to principles. And I think if DeSantis did that, he would have a lot more goodwill with Trump supporters.
Totally.
Yeah, this is the funny thing. I love the DeSantis supporters are the most entertaining people. I tweeted, what happens if Donald Trump doesn't surrender? What happened? Will the feds be sent to whatever state he's in? What if he flees to a red state and they refuse to cooperate? I get a combination of Georgia is a red state. I'm like, yes, it's the one state he has to go to surrender. So obviously I'm not talking about him seeking refuge in Georgia, where he'll clearly be arrested by Georgia police. And then I followed up with Ron DeSantis said that Trump should have fired these Soros prosecutors and Christopher Wray and all that, and previously stated that he would not assist in extradition. So I tweeted, if he went to Florida, would Ron DeSantis stand by his word and refuse to extradite Trump? And all of a sudden, all of the DeSantis supporters, not every single one, but a bunch of them start insulting and attacking me, claiming that my post was insulting to Ron DeSantis. And I'm just like, yo, this is why the guy's losing. His base, for whatever reason, Ron DeSantis has cultivated people who assume any discussion of Ron DeSantis is an insult.
Yeah.
They attack anybody who brings up anything about him. I can only assume that the Trump campaign hired shills to go on Twitter and attack anyone while pretending to be DeSantis supporters so that nobody wants to support DeSantis.
Dude, so I noticed a lot of the TDSers are the ones who support DeSantis a lot. And the TDSers, there are people that are extremely, extremely mad about Trump, So I feel like it kind of it became a thing because so many of them were on his side, They just kind of have this visceral reaction against Trump. That's why they're voting DeSantis.
There were a lot of Republicans and conservatives in 2016 who despised Trump and did everything in their power to stop him.
Right.
Then after a year or two, they were totally on board with Trump. Why? Because of social pressure. Trump won.
Yeah.
If they were not with Trump, then they were this weird, they were Democrats. Mm-hmm. And so what ends up happening is these neocons, they split into two factions. We now agree Trump is good. Please don't yell at me. And Trump was always bad. We're going to go hang out with Democrats. Mm-hmm. Then you get the Lincoln Project. I love the Lincoln Project so much because they were like, now that Trump has been defeated in 2020, they're like, we're going to start going after other Republicans. And it's just like, why? Like, Trump was the bad guy, right? Why go after literally any other Republican? Don't you like Mitch McConnell? He's your guy, huh? No, because it was grifting. They just wanted to find a group of people to grift off of and make money from, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I love about Trump is he's the great revealer in many ways. He's shown us who these people truly are to their core, whether that's, deep state bureaucrats or your average never Trumper on Twitter. He has shown us what these people are thinking so they can no longer lie to us. He's kind of pulled the curtain back, and I think that's been an immense service to the republic.
And that's why he has so many fans. A huge part of why he has so many fans, because he talks straight. And like you were talking about, we're in the apocalypse. We're in this great revealment time era and he's just talking about the deep state openly. And for people that had been red pilled, they already kind of knew, but to hear it from the president while he's president is man, people needed that.
Or just even the DC consultant class. Before Trump, I had no idea how much disdain coastal elites or DC Beltway consultants have for average Americans that just live regular day-to-day lives. I didn't know how much they despise my values until Donald Trump showed me.
Hatred.
Can I also just point out, with all due respect to Kyle Kalinske, he did not know what a farm looked like.
Well, yeah.
He took a picture from a plane. Kyle Kalinske is a very prominent left-wing podcaster personality. He's a good dude. He tries really hard, and I have tremendous respect for him because he tries to be honest. He just has different opinions. That's great. Him and Crystal Ball, they're fantastic. But the point is, even among the people that we can say we like and are good people, he posted a photo from a plane of farms and said, I wonder why it looks that way. And it's just he got roasted for it and insulted, and it was mean. And I'm like, yo, this is an educational opportunity for a coastal elite like Kyle to understand the world that rural folk live in by simply saying, my friend, good sir, those are farms.
But was he asking, like,
Where does
why?
he think his food comes
He
from,
did
though?
not
Like,
understand what he was looking
But
at.
wasn't he asking, why do the farms look that way?
No. He said, what are those things? That was the substance of his question. He said, I don't know why the land looks like
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think we have the tweet right here, actually.
It's this.
There you go.
He said, okay. All right,
You can hit the
never
X.
mind.
You can hit the X above it. That'll do it.
Let's
too.
just do this and find an actual image. Here we go. He said, this is land by Colorado, Kansas border from a plane. Pretty cool. I have no idea how/why it looks like this.
Dude,
Paul
Literally,
Watson
dude.
responds, it's called farming.
It's called property lines.
how do you not know that, man?
I'm
That's
sorry.
wild, dude.
It is absolutely wild.
I don't know how you don't know.
Yeah,
that.
for someone to be popular and to be ignorant is like pretty disturbing, but it happens.
It's so beyond that. It's
It's like you don't know.
how did you not know what farms? I just my mind
Property
is
lines?
blown by this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too. Like you can look at a neighborhood and see property lines like those are
Yeah.
yards.
It
Even
looks
like when you're a
exactly.
kid, like old McDonald had a farm. Like
Yeah.
you don't like. It's so weird.
What
to
the
me.
heck? What
Sean
the
Davis
heck
said,
is that?
"Imagine being mystified by the existence of farms." I am not bringing this up to like we've brought it up periodically. It's from a long time ago. What years? I don't know if we know what year it's from.
It's a couple years ago.
It's a couple years ago. And again, like I like Kyle. He's a good dude. He's a smart guy. But my point is not that he's a bad person. It's that even when we're you talk about the Beltway people who despise rural folk. Think about people like Kyle who does a show where he's very favorable to Democrats and the left, and he literally doesn't know what a farm even looks like. These are the kind of people. And again, not trying to drag Kyle, but these are the people that when I've been on Twitter and was talking about inflation, and disruption of supply line, when I said, what happens when this farm can't produce milk? Where do you get your milk from? They responded with the store. I am not exaggerating. And I said, I get that. My point is, where does the store get their milk from? And they responded with, what are you talking about? It's just there. I am not exaggerating. That is a verbatim quote from people from a guy on Twitter. I got into an argument with socialists with sickle and hammers in their accounts, and they say things like, "It's just at the store, dude. What do you mean?"
Oh, they're trolling. That's
No, dude.
And they still got you talking about it.
You see the issue, Ian.
I mean, I don't take people like that
I've spent a
seriously.
decade plus on the ground at various protests where I've physically spoken with these people and have experienced this over and over again. And you call it a troll, yet Kyle Klinsky did not know what a farm looked like.
Yeah, but a random internet commenter, though that's why I would say it's a troll. I would just assume it's a troll first.
A high-profile socialist account with like 40,000 followers who post about this all the time that says something like that is no different from Kyle Klinsky saying he doesn't know what a farm looks
okay,
like.
40,000 followers. That's a different story.
I'm not talking like a guy with 10 followers.
Oh, okay.
There's like they're like prominent, I got into an argument with the Socialist Party of Great Britain. That one was hilarious. When I was just like, it was a similar conversation. What happens if somebody wants to build a car as a hobby? They were like, they can go and just get free car parts from the factory. And I'm like every communist system,
For free.
you can just literally for no reason go somewhere and just take whatever you want.
If the people knew
It's
you,
not technically untrue because they use brute force to do it.
like if someone knew you and they wanted to agitate you, they could message you on Twitter and be like, just say really inane
Ian,
stuff till you can't take it anymore, and then you come on TV and yell about it.
I don't think Kyle's goal with not knowing what a farm was intending to trick right-wingers into thinking he was a moron.
No, I think he genuinely didn't know from that
It's
tweet.
like that meme. Ha, joke's on them. I'm just pretending to be retarded. Like, no, dude. There are a lot of people that don't understand what supply chain is and the supply line. There are people that don't understand where milk comes from.
But dude, milk coming from the store, like it just apparates at the store, is the most bizarre concept.
It's
You'd be
not.
amazed, man.
It's bro. It's called. There's a concept of object permanence, but there's people who. Let's try this. You ever see that visualization test where it says it shows a picture? It shows 5 silhouettes of a person, and there's a picture of an apple, a drawing of an apple, a flat single monotone drawing of an apple, an outline of an apple, and then nothing. And it says, which do you see in your mind when you think of apple? There are some people who say, what do you mean do you see? You can see things in your mind. Some people can't visualize objects in their minds. Some people can, in their mind, visualize a 3-dimensional apple, spin it around, slice it in half, open it up, and that's the visualization abilities they use for conceptualizing bridges and buildings and structures. Some people can't do that. Some people can't do basic math. Some people can't think 3 moves ahead. Not everybody has these abilities, but everybody can vote. So when someone says the milk is just at the store, it's because their logical capabilities stops 1 degree from where they are. I go to the store and get milk. What do you mean milk comes from somewhere else? It's at the store. Where we think, and if this is where you can't project your cognitive faculties onto other people. Yeah. I can visualize the whole supply chain from the birth of the cow. I've gone to the farms and I've talked to the farmers, and even I'm not an expert on this, but I certainly understand the milk at the store came from somewhere, from a truck, from a distribution facility, from bottling plant, from a farm, whatever. And there are people who can't comprehend that. Now, in the case of Kyle, with all due respect, he just had never seen a farm before. My point is not that he's a stupid person. My point is that he is pushing policy positions and encouraging votes from a place of extreme ignorance. I am not going to pretend to be the smartest person in the room or the world. I also do very similar things. But I think, my point with this is, when it comes to passing nationwide laws, I think it would be imperative for people like Kyle to step back and say, I don't know a lot more often.
Yeah, and being intelligent you can be intelligent and be ignorant. Ignorant just means you don't know the information yet, or you don't know the information. So Kyle's very intelligent. Whether or not he's ignorant about something, a lot of people have things they don't know. That's one of the great wonders of being a human. You get to learn.
And that's why I thought it was stupid that everyone was insulting him. I'm like, dude, Kyle's a nice guy. He's like, he tries really hard. He's fair to people. And back in the day, one of the reasons I give him a lot of credit is that he has consistently defended Carl Benjamin from all the lies and the smears of the media when they were falsely characterizing him as racist. He would reject it and be like, dude, don't do that. That's not fair. Address the arguments. And I'm like, this is a good dude. But he doesn't know what a farm looks like. That means when he goes on his channel and says, hey guys, you should vote for this policy and that policy, you know that he's missing a huge portion of knowledge in certain areas. I'm not saying he's talking about voting policy on farms or anything. I'm just saying, when people talk about stuff on Twitter, most people don't know anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I
I
mean?
mean, even in government, like how many people in the U.S. Department of Agriculture building in D.C. right now have no experience firsthand on a farm? Probably a large number.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.